Hey, my name is Kevin Harry. I am a headshot portrait photographer based out of Atlanta, Georgia. I'm continuing a series where I talk a little bit about some of the behind the scenes stories about some of images that I've created. I often get this question about what is the toughest shoot I've ever done. And though every shoot I've done offers its own set of challenges, this one still in my head reigns supreme as far as up there in the difficulty level. So several years ago, my friend Bray reached out to me and wanted to do a swimsuit shoot, and I was like, "Yes, I've never done a swimsuit shoot before. Let's do it." At that, back in this is several years ago, I was doing something in the studio, and she had sent me a mood board, and we collaborated, went back and forth. And initially, I was like, I could shoot this in the studio, but no, I've got to get some inspiration from Sports Illustrated. Let's do this on location. And there's our first challenges. Where do we shoot this? Because I didn't really want a swimming pool style shoot. I wanted something that was a little bit more felt like in location, like either you were in the woods, the jungle, etc. Now we live in Atlanta, so there is no jungle. So what's the next best thing? And for some odd reason, I came up with the idea of shooting at a waterfall. Problem is there aren't very many waterfalls or usable waterfalls in a photographic sense in Atlanta, so we actually had to drive out of town. And then I had scoured this, looked it up online, realized that there was also a popular spot for other photographers. And then once I got there, this is when I realized there were some problems. Number one, it was hot. This was in the summer of, I want to say 2022 when I shot this, just to give you an idea of what I'm talking about, this shot right here. And it was humid. So if you're in a car for a long period of time, and if you're in a place or a location that has a lot of humidity, you'll know this. And your camera gear is in air-conditioned conditions, and then you bring it out, it immediately becomes a problem because your lenses and everything seems to fog up because of the humidity. The second problem, which is even the bigger issue, is that the falls from where I could stand on land versus where the falls were, which is going to be a backdrop, were a significant distance. So we initially started off with her basically standing on land where I could shoot her, and the falls were off in the distance. And there is a body of water between where she was standing and where the falls were. But that wasn't the look we wanted. We wanted something where she was against the falls, the water was cascading all over her, and it kind of looked really cinematic. But in order for her to do that, she actually had to get to the falls. Problem number three, there's a body of water. There's slippery rocks. So the only way that she could get there safely is to either climb precariously on the slippery rocks on the side to get there, which we tried once. We found out the easiest way was to actually for her to go through the water and to get up on the falls. Problem number three, I had a telephoto lens, 7200. It was just a smidge short for where I could get something decent with her. The other problem was the falls were so loud and she was so far away, she couldn't hear my instructions. She couldn't hear anything I was saying, which meant in order for us to make this work, I had to actually get in the water. And I didn't realize it until almost too late that the water came up to almost here on me. And I'm holding my camera. I have a Nikon Z6 II with a 7200 millimeter, and I am trying not to slip and fall. And every step was precarious because the bottom of this, whatever this was, lagoon, was muddy. It's either you're stuck to the bottom or you're slipping on the bottom. And the irony of this is I have always envisioned or fantasized being one of these National Geographic on location photographers, and here I was in the element and worried about, it's a couple seconds my camera was going to go in the water. Needless to say, I stood in the middle of this water, was able to lock in my shot, and even yelling, even though I was several feet from her, it was hard to hear. I was able to get these shots. So check these out.